First, I want to bring up a friend of the show. He's been with us since the very beginning. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Give some love to Johnny Bones Jones, you guys! Yeah! John, who is, I still say, undefeated. I hate this disqualification you got with Matt Hamill. You are undefeated. No one's ever come close to you. Destroyed your last guys. Matsushenko, who is incredibly tough. This was a real test that Dana gave you. And I understand Dana said, all right, you've been taking people out, you've been breaking guys' faces, literally. Poor Brandon Vera, broken eye socket in 3 different places. If you get past Matsushenko, you're getting a big name. You got a big name. Who are you fighting? This is huge, you guys.
Yeah, I'll be fighting Ryan Bader on February 5th out in Las Vegas, and he's a really tough guy. He's never lost a fight before, so hopefully I'll be the first to let him know how that feels.
Ryan Darth Bader, is that a fight? 2 undefeated animals. These guys, both undefeated, both young. I think Darth is about 26, 27 years old. You're 23?
23, yeah.
23 years old. This guy, 23 years old. This is going to be a fight. Tell us all about the fight. What type of style, just on the surface, it looks like you probably want to stay on your feet. You got reach on him. Is that going to be your strategy going into the cage with him?
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan Bader is really tough. He's a great collegiate wrestler. He has knockout power in his left hand and in his right hand with a lot of wild looping punches. So a lot of my plan is just to keep the punches really straight and, not give him the edge in the wrestling department and just have fun and do what I do.
And you do it well. And stay on your feet, or you got great ground too. If it goes to the ground, I mean, he's got some weakness. I don't see any weakness in your game.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, I think the reason why I don't gas is because I'm really tall and lean, and my body is built for like a lot of speed and agility. Where he's really muscular, he has that extreme power, but he gasses out pretty fast. So that's something I'm looking to exploit. And as far as the game plan, I'm gonna mix it up, man. Ground, feet, wherever it goes, I'm excited about it.
Superstar of the sport, and Dana White has pegged him as one of the 7 best, I believe, in the world in the light heavyweight division. Any other words for your fans, for your neighbors out here in Niagara Falls?
Nice. Yeah, I'm just saying I'm always happy to be here. Rage Wolf 10. This show has come such a long ways, and it's only going up. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Well, stay with us, John, and I cannot wait to see that Ryan Bader fight. It is going to be sick. Stay with us, because I want to bring up to the cage one of your very good friends. One of your very good friends. And this guy really needs no introduction. He is one of the most famous fighters in the history of the sport already, and has had some of the most exciting fights in the history of the UFC. I'm, of course, talking about the former UFC light heavyweight champion of the world. Make some huge noise for your neighbor, Sugar Rashad Evans, you guys. Sugar! Yeah! Sugar Rashad Evans, I am thrilled to be talking to you. Been watching your fight. You're one of my favorite fighters, and I'm just going to go on record saying I'm glad you schooled Rampage. And that was a great season. That was one of the most entertaining, tough seasons in the history of the show. And just thanks for being with us, and let everyone know you're from Niagara.
Yeah, I'm from Niagara Falls. I went to Niagara Wheatfield, but yeah, I'm from Niagara Falls, and it's good to be back home. I've been coming back home since I've been fighting in UFC, but this is the first time I had a welcome home party like this.
And you're saying hi to all the fans, and they're having a great time. Don't forget, you can come and get your picture with them, say hi to them, one of the friendliest guys you'll ever meet. Let's talk a little bit about the career. You've worked your way back up to a title shot. You're going to be facing Mauricio Shogun, who, unfortunately, and it's MMA. He got injured, so I understand that fight has been pushed back substantially, to mid next year.
Yeah, he had an ACL surgery, so I don't know when I'm going to fight him. They said May, and I hear it might be pushed back further than that, so I don't know what I'm really going to do. I don't know if I should just say, and fight somebody else, but at the same time, it's the belt. You don't have many opportunities to get a chance to fight for the belt, so you got to take a chance when you get it.
Yeah, and you got to be strategic about what fights you take. You're at the top levels. It's a very important decision to make where you're going to fight. There is a guy who wants to fight you, and you know who I'm going to say. It's your only loss on your record. Now, of course, talking about Lyoto Machida. He's fighting a guy that you might not know. His name is Rampage. He's fighting Rampage, and he said if he gets past Rampage, he wants you for an interim light heavyweight belt fight. Is that something that you would entertain?
Oh, yeah. That's something I'll definitely entertain. I mean, the only loss in my record, I definitely want to get that back.
Yeah, it was a brutal loss. I mean, you had a great fight.
All right, enough for that. No, it was a brutal loss, but it was a good learning lesson, though.
And you brutally beat, like 12 or 13 other guys the same way, so there's nothing wrong with it. That's why I'm saying I think you can get that back, and against Lyoto, that would be very impressive. So if that's going to happen, when would that happen?
I don't know, man. You first got to get past Rampage, and then, when I talked to Dana White, he didn't say anything about offering an interim belt. He was kind of against it. The UFC was against it there. They're going to stick by Shogun. So, I mean, if it happens that they offer interim in the time, then I'll take it. Then if they don't, I'll just got to wait for Shogun.
All right, and one other elephant in the room that I got to talk about. I'd be remiss in my duties if I didn't. There's another guy in the house here. He's in your weight division. Your teammates, you've been very famous for never fighting your friends. You'd never fight Keith Jardine, despite a lot of pressure to do so. I'm feeling like there might be some pressure on you. I might be wrong, but, Johnny's he's tearing through the light heavyweights. Has there been pressure applied yet? And if so, will you give in to the pressure, or is that a fight that would never happen?
No, there hasn't been no pressure by the UFC. Nobody's ever said anything. Actually, it's only been through interviews that anybody didn't really talk about us fighting. But the UFC's never said anything about that. Dana White's been more, on the side of just saying John needs a couple more fights to even get to that level as far as being one of the top guys in the weight class. But
Rashad Evans is the best of all time.
Nah, I mean, that's my boy, man. I mean, when you train with somebody, people are like, oh, why won't you fight somebody you train with? To train with somebody in MMA, you really got to make yourself vulnerable in order to get the best out of each other. When you're in there and we're working out together, if I'm holding back because I'm afraid I'm going to fight him, then I'm not giving him the best work that he can get. And unlike boxing, we can't afford to have just one camp around us and have 8 guys flowing in to spar with us. So you got to develop close relationships with the people that you train with. So when you develop a close relationship with the people you train with, the last thing you want to do is try to split their head open. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I totally understand that. Totally understand that. So let's look at another scenario. You've said you would entertain the possibility of Lyoto Machida get back that win. I know you can beat him. Should he not get past Rampage, should Rampage beat Lyoto, would you entertain a rematch with Rampage? Or do you think that Rampage would deserve a rematch if he does defeat Lyoto?
I'll fight Rampage right now. I'll fight Rampage any day of the week. I need no extra motivation for that one. Now, it'd be good to fight Rampage again. I knew after the first time I fought him, I was I'm probably going to get a chance to fight him again. There's only so many guys at the top level, and I think that we're all pretty close to each other, as far as how in competition-wise. So if I get a chance to fight him again, I would love to fight him again. But first and foremost, I got to get that belt back.
Speaking of getting the belt back, how frustrating it is, and I'll make this the last question. I know you're a busy guy. How frustrating it is. You're a true warrior. You're one of the best who's ever stepped in the cage. So entertaining to watch. How frustrating is it all this time in between fights? It already feels like it's been forever since your last fight. If you do have to wait for Mauricio, that's a long time. Is that over a year in between fights? How do you stay fight ready?
Well, good thing I got a lot of teammates, and everybody has fights coming up. Like George St. Pierre, he's going to be fighting Koscheck, and I'm going to go out to train with George in a couple weeks. And, I'm probably going to go help out John when he has to get ready to fight Beta. So there's always going to be my training partners that's getting ready for fights that keep me in fight shape ready. But having this time off has allowed me to do other things outside of fighting. You only can fight for so long and only have so many fights in you. So with that said, you always got to keep in mind your exit strategy. And this is giving me the time to think about things that I want to do outside of fighting. So that's what I took the time as, to try to figure out what I want to do outside of fighting, as well as get myself in the gym and get better shape and add some more tools to the arsenal.
You've been a true pleasure to watch. Oh, and by the way, a really tight game you call on ESPN, too. Real good sportscaster as well. Check him out on ESPN. Boy, the world is your oyster. Young guy, got it all going on, and you're putting Niagara Falls and upstate New York and Buffalo on the map. So thank you very much. Any final words to your neighbors here?
Yeah, I just like to thank everybody for coming out. You know, this is where I grew up at, and it's good to have a homecoming like this. You know, I've seen a lot of people I haven't seen in a long time, and sometimes I don't even recognize some of the people because I've been gone for so long. But I appreciate it. This is where I'm from, and Niagara Falls does got a lot of heart, baby. This is what it all started from. I'm holding it down from Niagara Falls always.
Give it up one more time for your neighbor, Sugar Rashad Evans. Give some love.